I like that when I first come to know this phrase, I thought was really meaningful for the times we live in today. Because this, when you stop to think, you see that's what people are doing out there. So if they are willing to spend money to have content without ads, because sometimes they have free ads if they don't want to pay, they're gonna have to bear with ads, but they pay to don't have ads. It's very meaningful of the sense of like people are much more on demand today, and they want to have the control of what they want to see, and they don't want to spend time in something they don't like. So they rather pay to don't spend time with that. So I don't want to wait 10 seconds for the sim to, I'm gonna pay this app because every time I don't want that. I just want to go straight to the content. Understand that is really important because you have to understand how is the mindset of the consumer is working, so you can like try to establish a dialogue with them. If you don't understand that, then you get it wrong, and then you really going to struggle to connect properly. It's always hard, but I guess like one of the first thing is just like they have to avoid this almost like a big feeling of my product is the best thing in the world. Brands think like that. And I think people are like waking up just to see what's my new product innovation or what I'm going to tell in one ad. And just like a folder seems just like, for some clients, a folder is just like a Mona Lisa. They think that people are like making queues to watch it, and they are not. So I guess that's a great understanding that is important for brands. So then they have like instead of doing that, they have to try to come content and ideas that are understand what people and consumers really care to talk about. So that's why a lot of brands are doing things for good, just to give an example. Because we live in an era where people are understanding that we are not in this world just per se. We have a commitment with things, with like whatever, social causes, or the environment, or like, there's a lot of things that we have to commit and compromise. And brands that are understanding that and doing that, this is like one of the many ways you can say something that the consumers are really going to be attracted and interested in doing the conversation. The challenge there, though, is like some brands, they think that the topic of conversation is the product, and it's not. And some brands think it's just the content, and then the brand just is like a kind of a sponsor, which I don't think is the ideal model. So the ideal way is to find a content, some kind of a conversation that like is in the core of your brand purpose. I guess that's the best way to do brand entertainment in my view. So it's something that you cannot detach one from the other. And it's just like, I want people to be talking about, sharing, spreading the conversation about that. But the core of what's being said that is on the core of the brand purpose. We've been discussing with the client, mentors globally, about like what is the purpose of the brand, and they are about like about friendship, about connections. Just like the product is almost like an icebreaker, like in a way for you to start the conversation with others. And this is insightful. This really happened for real. Just like if you offer a mentor to somebody, probably you're going to start talking to that person. And this is really beautiful in the moment that people are like. Because of even like a social media and mobile phones, people are like more like towards like in their own world. People are not like connecting with anybody else. So there's a beautiful sentiment there to explore, like to be a brand that is about like putting people to talk more, to connect more. So that's the purpose of the brand. And we thought that there's something interesting about when you were a kid, you used to do that with anybody. Wherever you go, you talk to anybody because you're not overjudging things. So if a kid start talking to you right now, you never know the kid, you're going to think, oh, how cute. If a grown-up person that you never saw start talking to you, you think like, yo, he's a stalker, or like he's into me, what's going on? Why? Because we judge. We lost that, that poetry, that like a beautiful thing that you have as a kid. So we thought, hey, what if we try to put like guys, adults in conversational situations with strangers, but they have like something on the earplug, like, and they are being guided by kids, and the kids are seeing the things in the video, and the things are leading. The kids are leading the conversation. They're saying to who you're going to talk, what you're going to say, and the trick is you have to follow. And with the adults, we did this. We we just let them know that they're being guided by kids in the last second. So I said, oh, you're gonna have to be in the situation. Somebody will tell you what to do, and you have to behave just like that. Do you agree? Yes, I agree. Believe me, you're gonna do more connection. Fine, let's see. Like, it's a nice experiment. So then when they're about to start, they start listening to a kid. They go like, whoa, what's going on? It's a kid. And then on their minds, you see like how they're like, I was not expecting for that. So the barrier, the block that they could have like about your preconcepts already fall immediately because they're kind of emotionally lost in a good way. So more like moving towards the experience. So that's why the video is so like compelling, so interesting, and so funny, because kids are more funny, and you can see like how playful, how like nobody thinks you're crazy. People are really open to that kind of things. We just don't do it. So it's not just about the experiment, but what it calls on you. Like, you have to see it and feel, what was the last time I did something like that? Why I don't act more like that? And so it makes you think, which we think is very beautiful. The adults, like they were not expecting that the people that will be guiding and leading them on the conversation were kids. So we let that to happen in the last second. So they're like under the premise, they agree with like somebody will guide you in this conversation. Are you up to it? Yes, fine. And this will like help you to make more connections. Fantastic, let's go for it. And the last second before starting the experiment, they start listening to the voice and we're kids. So that was like all the walls like fall down immediately, because they go like, oh, but now a kid is telling me what to say. So they really are kind of lost, but in a very positive way, because this opened even more their heart. And you can tell that in the video. It's very compelling, it's very believable, which is very important. We live in an era that to do something that is true is not enough. You have to look through as well, like you have to perceive as is true, because a lot of brands and a lot of products there are lying, pretending things. You have really to commit to do in a way that is believable. So we got that feeling, and you can feel it when you watch the film.